just had to take a moment. I really just love. It's such a good song. It really is. But yeah, hi everybody. Happy Friday. I hope the day was restful and productive for y'all. I am late because we had a long but very productive meeting at the Game Design Future Lab today. So you might go to like 9:30 maybe, 2 hours instead of 3. But we'll see. I do have good news to share. I was not able to share last time. I didn't know. But the short answer is, for safety purposes, I'm not going to say what it is on stream. The job opportunity that I got, or at least, at the very least, I'm not planning on saying it on stream unless it is either publicly stated somewhere else or otherwise. Just because this is like my first time doing this, I'm just trying to be careful. But yeah, the short answer is that the job that we are doing the winter rent drive in order to make sure I can make it to, for lack of a better word, the numbers were confirmed that I needed in order to make sure that like it is a thing that is happening. That was a thing that's entirely out of my control, but it looks like we are on and good to go. But it still means that I am going to need to get the dosh to make sure that I make it to that first paycheck. As a reminder, the long and short of it is that basically I wouldn't be getting paid until like the 1st of February, basically, and I start work like late January. So basically every cent of this is being used to make sure that I've got enough cushion to take me through until the point where the paychecks start hitting frequently enough that I actually have enough money to keep me sustained alongside the other stuff that I've been trying to get going this whole time. So if you do !donate, you'll get the link to my Ko-Fi. You can do it over there. If you can't do it, because I understand that money is tight and times are tough, pass the link on to somebody who can. And that's pretty much all I ask for. Ideally, we get as much as we can in, and then I close it at the end of the month. And then anything we happen to get over the 4,000 is just icing on the cake. But having the 4,000 alone is enough. Like with the support that y'all have kind of like provided already so far, December's rent is covered. So now basically the rest of this goes to January's rent and then making sure that I have enough going into February that I can like cover February's rent and then kind of keep myself picked up from there. And for anybody who does manage to give while stream is on, there are stream-related incentives to giving if that is your thing that you care about. We do also have direct milestones. If I make it to 50%, we're 8% away, closer to 7% really. But if we make it all the way to 50%, that unlocks an SMT Nocturne HD Remaster run for in the future. Except this time I'm playing the Dante content that I skipped the last time I played it. So that is on offer. We still have googly eyes to put on if you give $5 and you feel like it. We can get the background changed for $20. All that other stuff. I only deleted that last message because Nightbot said a thing that was already pulled up, and it's like making it repeat itself was kind of silly. Didn't want to do that. Oh yeah, and also yeah, the Discord is a thing now. It is back up and running pretty much. If you decide that you like the vibe here and you want to hang out, there's our Discord. Um, we do have a manual verification process just because I haven't had the time to set up the application system, the automated one, the way that I like, which is to make sure that people actually read the rules and pay attention to the things that I'm saying, that the rules say before they join. So for right now, we still have a manually automated system because I haven't had time to like overhaul the system to use applications the way that the Gilded used to. So if you decide that you like the vibe, you can join us over there. Hang on, somebody has a question. I have to answer it. Well, I feel like I should answer it. All right. So let's play some Street Fighter. I've been doing a little bit of grinding with Viper off stream, so we're back up to Diamond 5. I am not going to put on myself the burden of terrible expectation by saying that we will get Master tonight. I don't like to do that. If I think that we have a good shot of getting it, I might try. Hang on a second. I have to aggressively shitpost at somebody. I have to like aggressively, supportively shitpost at somebody. Hi, Rigel. All right, task completed. Gifts are a love language, and maybe it's because I'm just an old school millennial, but I feel like if you pick a gift with the correct sentiment and at the right time, it is a wonderful declaration of caring. And sometimes that wonderful declaration of caring is that when somebody, even jokingly, posts a meme that is maybe technically a little bit self-deprecating as a joke, your response is to bust out the "why you always lying" guy, you know? Keep them on their toes. But how are you doing, Rigel? Hopefully well. And Stubby as well. It's good to see everybody. I know that streams have been really sporadic, and I know that y'all understand why streams have been sporadic. So this is not me going like, this is not me about to like get wild with it by going like, oh, I deeply appreciate it despite the fact that I've never streamed in like the last couple of days. Y'all, like, no, I appreciate it. I know the streams, especially like midweek streams, have just not been a thing that have been happening as often. Wednesday is one of my work days at the Game Design Future Lab, and it's just one of those things where if I can't make it home on time, I usually want to, but Wednesday and Friday being as they are, and with the Future Lab kind of like being the thing that it is, it inevitably takes priority. Tired. Cat woke me up at 7 a.m. Oh. The kitty alarm clock is one of those things where you just go, if you share whatever you're eating, I'll be understanding. Right now, it's I just ordered Chipotle because I didn't feel like cooking. Mom was kind enough to get me some frozen meatballs that I need to like season and cook, but I just have not had the opportunity to. I have to figure out when is a good time to do that. I might do it tonight after stream is over, just because there will probably be no other better time. But yeah, I'm eating Chipotle. Unfortunately, I think I can't share this one specifically for what's the word I'm looking for? Not because I don't want to, Rigel, dietary stuff for you specifically is why I can't. Otherwise, I would. I don't want to talk your business out loud, but I don't want to talk your business out loud. So I'll like DM you or drop it in the usual spot so you know what's what. Let me do this right quick actually before I forget because I will forget. Damn it, why can I never find who I need to message when I want to message them? Every time I'm like looking and it's like, I can't find this person to message them and I'm screaming. I'll just have to buy the spot. I think I'm over here and then do it over here. But yeah, otherwise I definitely would have shared. It's that. Otherwise I'd have shared it with you for sure. I am not greedy about my food like that. All right. All right, so let me actually do my usual warm-ups because I realize I've been neglecting those lately, and that might be part of why I've stalled out with Viper aside from like the obvious stuff. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the warm-ups I'm talking about, basically, you'll notice that like I'm trying to hit with the tip of each of my buttons here, and the reason for that is relatively straightforward. It's because when it comes down to fighting games, right? So the actual max range is like, here is pushing it. Here is probably the actual like, no. So it's like here. So not really that far apart is the max range. So the main thing about this exercise in particular, right? And I may overstep a little bit, but the main point mostly is to remind myself of how far Viper's buttons reach, right? 4, 5, 2. And the thing is that like, and I've talked about this on this channel before, but it's because it's been a little while since I've actually broken this theory down here for people who may be like new that are lurking, for example. One of the things about 3, 4, 5. One of the things about fighting games that a lot of people kind of like lose in the shuffle is a lot of things that people lose in the shuffle when it comes to fighting games. That they sort of make assumptions that the most important thing to learn is like combos. And if you don't have combos, like if you don't learn like a few combos before you start playing the game, then you can't play fighting games, which is not true, right? It's factually not true. Knowing combos is helpful in terms of like, right, once you land a hit, you can convert and like actually, you know, make things work in terms of like, oh yeah, I have now managed to like land a hit. I can now like convert off of it and do stuff, right? And that is important. That's true, right? That does matter. You do have to actually like, care at least a little bit about that, right? But the thing is that a lot of what happens with combos will not matter if you cannot like actually land a hit, right? And so the only way that you learn how to land hits is by knowing how far they reach. So this is not me saying that you have to like, this is not so that you have to, I'm not saying this like, oh yeah, you gotta grind this out for like, what's the word I'm looking at? I got sidetracked. So like the main thing is that I'm not saying this to say like, oh yeah, you have to like grind this out for like 7 hours a day before you can learn how to play a fighting game. But no, especially if you're just learning, you may want to take like, all right, I'm gonna start off by like, I'm gonna start off my work with this by like, all right, I'm gonna try to get like every button 3 times in a row without at what I think the maximum range is without missing. And if you don't know what the maximum range is the first time, right? You just use the button. You just like hit the button a couple times until it stops hitting. So like with Viper, max range for a standing medium kick is like about here, and you can have like a little bit of like wiggle room on it in terms of like, oh, I get a little bit closer just to be sure. That's fine, right? Because you learn and get a better sense for it as it goes along, right? But you notice now, right, that when it comes that once you're comfortable, right, like even when you're walking back and once you're ready, you make it a little harder by walking back and forth a little bit to change the distance between you and your opponent before you try pressing the button. The real trick to learning how to play a fighting game effectively, at least most, even like with Tekken and stuff like that, where yeah, you can move in a 3D plane, but most of the time you are on a 2D plane unless you're sidestepping. It is about looking at the space between you and your opponent and using that as the judge for whether or not you should be pressing certain buttons. So when you're trying to figure out the max distance of a button, you're looking at the space in between you and your opponent, and you're looking at the spot at which like it stops, right? Because the main thing, right? The main thing that we are kind of like trying to aim for here in situations like this, I'm not going to be able to do that conversion like during most matches raw. I can't, because that like requiring the hit confirm off of one hit like that is very difficult. It's doable. I'm not saying it's impossible, but you basically have to if you don't want to like fuck up and get punished, you have to gamble on the fact that like, oh yeah, I got the hit. And for Viper, that can be expensive in terms of drive resources and things like that. I'll bump up the volume a little bit so we can hear. And this is Edge Street Fighter 5 theme. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I tried to press a button after that. No, I need to be careful about that. Ooh, yeah, that's a good one. Yep, fair. Nah, I'm gonna get hit. Stand still. Yeah. I think what Ed did there is a safe jump. A safe jump is basically a situation where you knock somebody down, and then the way that you knock them down has usually left enough time for them to get up and get close to you or do some other action, and like, ooh, yeah. So that is a safe jump. I'm dead. So let me explain what a safe jump is. If you do, if you want video examples, you can do !FGC glossary and just put in the words safe jump. But the way that a safe jump works is you knock somebody down, right? And then you jump forward. This does not, you may have to set it up very specifically with specific moves sometimes, but the idea behind a safe jump is that whatever way that you knock somebody down is going to leave them knocked down long enough that you can jump at them, right? So you can then jump at them and press a button and then still land with time to block if they attempt to like do something else to stop you. And then if they didn't attempt to stop you, your button hits, and then if it's like blocked or whatever, right? It generally works out, right? Like, ah, damn it, I messed up the timing. So, yeah, so like Ed, after doing like the 1, 2, 3 knockdown and then doing the jump in, that's a safe jump. So like if I attempt to like hit him with heavy thunder knuckle as like a wake up response to that, even if he's doing like jumping heavy punch or something after the safe jump, then what happens is that I basically still eat shit in terms of like, nah, that's too high up, but they didn't punish it. Oops. Yeah, that's fair. I did not have to pay for that. Ah, I messed up the other cancel I wanted to do. Oops. I'm at, yeah. After I hit Ed after the jive impact, when I hit Ed, I didn't correctly do a dive rush cancel. That's what I meant to do. That's the combo I meant to do and I fucked it up last time, but not this time. Now we got Edge Street Fighter 6. Nope. This Ed does not tech the hooks. Ooh. rare footage. Players usually don't use that because it's really punchable like this. Oh, I didn't have to do that. I wasted that meter. I could have just done Heavy Thunder Knuckle, and it would have killed. Oops. Not the worst thing. Securing the kill might have been worth the extra meter, but ideally I wouldn't have had to do that at all. Nope. And hit. There's a safe jump again. Yeah, like you saw how Ed was nearly to the ground when he did that punch, right? That's one of the characteristic things about safe jumps usually is that oops. I messed up and I didn't do the cancel at the right time. Ooh, yeah, good one. Heads up. Heads up. I dropped it because I didn't do the input correctly. That's the other thing also, right? One of the things about fighting game inputs that people sort of get wrong is the assumption that you always have to do them fast or your combo is going to drop. One of the things that, like, also another form of practice that I've been doing very often because I've been a little bit slacking about it, I haven't been, like, working on, like, getting that input more cleanly. If I had been practicing that more frequently, I'd be less likely to drop it. Because the thing about the muscle memory is that
Stay out of my business. Hope you'll put up a fight.
promotion inputs especially, like quarter circles and half circles and things like that, a large part of getting it right, quote unquote, is about taking enough time to let your muscle memory it's about letting your muscle memory have enough time to, like, actually develop it. I probably could have burned a little bit more. I could have burned a little more drive meter there to ensure the kill, but I wasn't feeling confident about what would be best suited. Good throw. Oh, okay. I might have been able to punish after that other one, but I messed it up. Yep. Oh, yeah, no. That was a good one. Good call. We'll see if I'm dead here. Yeah. Just barely. If I'd been able to get another hit or two, or if I'd converted properly off of that counter hit life punch, I would have been able to kill. But, you know, wishes were fishes. Or wishes were horses, rather. I want to be careful about that, because this person has demonstrated that they do have messed it up again. Good enough. They probably tried to press something, and oh yeah, I forgot. If you win against a master rank player when you're not master rank, you get a lot of weak points for, like, ranking stuff. I'm toward the corner now. Nope. No. Need to be a little careful here. Not press too many buttons. The nice thing about Viper's Burning Kick is that the aerial version, and you've seen me do this a couple times, the aerial version, depending on what button you press, will do different things with Viper's mid-air trajectory. So a thing that I admittedly do a lot that I should do a little bit less, ooh, I wasn't close enough, is that, no, he had the kill rush there was good for the meaty. I should, yep. Yeah, I didn't have enough to do a lot there. And like I said, like one of the things that is very... Ooh, hang on. Let me put on my thinking cap a little bit for a little while. Hey, Shiny. Nah, I should be cooked here. I didn't want to do drive impact, I wanted to do drive reversal. But it's okay. This is why they're mastering. But, like, at a net, winning twice still gets me quite a bit against this person, and the fact that they're willing to run it back is good. How you doing, Shiny? Hopefully well. Ooh, yeah, good call. Ooh. Oops. So yeah, that's the thing, right? Right. The thing about aerial burning kick is that depending on which version you use, Viper's trajectory changes in different ways, right? So if you do like light aerial burning kick, even from like a forward jump, not the one I meant to do. But like there, it'll stall, right? So you can use it to change your position in ways that people don't anticipate. Yeah, that's fair. I was trying to press a button in a situation where I was not close. Let's... Done. I got lucky because they had enough to drive impact back. I was trying to drive reversal on the wake up to push them off. Yeah, even though I lost like 64 points in that exchange, or like 50 points in that exchange, I got like roughly 250 both times, so I came out with like a net of 450. If you can beat a master rank player, if like you're really trying to like sweat about rank like that, master rank players are a really good way to get points, but you gotta be good enough to hold. You gotta be good enough to hold it. This is going to be a little bit tricky because it's Chun-Li, so... And I say that not because she's like inherently like busted or anything, but it's more so that her pokes are very strong. So it's one of those things where it's very difficult to poke against her. And... I messed up the timing on my punch, which is unfortunate. Because, yeah, that spinning bird kick, me blocking it, I should be able to blow that up for free. And I messed up the punish, which is unfortunate. want to be careful about how much ground I'm giving to this Chun-Li, because if I back up too much, I will get pushed back. Didn't mean to do that. I wanted to dive parry it and not actually. Careful here. Kicks. Lightning kicks. Yeah. I am probably dead, I think, but I may not be. If I'm not, then it's very barely. Yeah. Chun-Li's scary. Like, poking back against her is not impossible, but it's just one of those things where you have to pick very carefully about where you're trying to do the counter pokes, because she will like just blow your shit up if you try. Her buttons reach very far, and she's very, very good at poking. And it's not that Viper's buttons don't by comparison, but that a lot of Viper's really good poking buttons are a little bit slower. And that's an overhead, and I got popped by that. Yeah, I might just have to hold that. It's very difficult against Chun-Li, because like if you're trying to just like poke her raw, like it doesn't work like that very well usually. And then this is for the juggle. I get toward the corner from it, which is the most important part for her. Piss off. I got it. Yep, she checked with the jab. Getting her kick. I'm probably dead here. I also do like the Chun-Li outfit. I think it's her outfit freeze, I don't remember. Yeah, I don't think I was going to be able to hold that up. Their sense of like where to poke and how is too developed, and I wasn't getting past that. I'll hold that, that's fine. But yeah, this is why I said before that, like, I wasn't going to say, yeah, I'm definitely getting master ranked, because, like, no, why would I call that evil upon myself? No reason. Modern Dhalsim. This should be interesting. No. You're gonna stop doing that. Because that shit does... I'm not gonna say it never works on me, but it's very difficult to get that to work on me. I have fought too many Dhalsim players in situations where, like, I've had to look out for that, and it's like that. It's very difficult to get that to work on me. Like, you have to be absolutely conditioning me with other stuff in order for me to not catch that. Still on fire. Yeah, like there almost, but I was still mashing jab. Yep, very good. See? Like... Told you. Yeah, that's fair. It's also very hard to anti-air. Not even because of like the teleporting and stuff like that, but or it's very hard to jump in on Dhalsim is what I mean to say. Yep. Nah, I shouldn't have done that. They were expecting that. The reason why they were able to get away with that is because I got greedy and saw the corner and thought I could use a jive impact and force it. Which is my fault. That wasn't gonna work there. One of the things about Dhalsim that is like very... A lot of Dhalsim players are generally like this. Not in like a bad way, but in a way that is more just emblematic of like a much better setup for the teleport there. But yeah, a lot of because of the way that like Dhalsim's defensive options work in this game, which is LOL, use fucking drive impact and drive reversal like your life depends on it. It is very difficult usually to like DI a lot of Dhalsim players because they're used to having to do that as like their getaway button basically. Very difficult to do it. Yeah. Now they're actually putting some effort into it, which is good. Like you'll notice that now they stopped after a while trying to just do like the law. I'm gonna just raw teleport behind you, and they did a lot more like I'm going to teleport backward to fake you, or if I'm gonna teleport behind you, I'm gonna do it after I throw out Yoga Comet. Right? Those are the ways that like Dhalsim really wants to set up teleports behind you. Like, if you're playing as Dhalsim and you're like, I want to teleport behind people and fuck them up more, it's better to start setting it up after knockdowns and then not always threatening it. With comet coverage, so that people are less likely to pay attention to where it's happening. Yeah, it's fair. I think the Sea Viper in Red and Black is going to smart ass. Oh, that was clever. So, a thing that I don't do very often with Viper is that if you do a Tiger Knee version of her grounded burning kick, you can actually, you can cross people up with it, but you have to like actually get the correct you have to get the correct version of it, or it doesn't work. Very good. No. Yeah, fair. That's plus. Whew. Had to pull out a couple of tricks there. Ooh, yeah, that was good. Oop, there. Yep. Nah. I'm probably cooked for this round. I think. Because, like, the main reason why I try to be more careful about when I throw out Burning Kick is mostly because it's very easy to, like, it's very easy if somebody is especially overzealous with Burning Kick and like the way that it works. It's very easy to like overextend yourself and get popped. That was a good one in their case because like, you know, parry. Yeah, like that kind of thing, right? Where like if you're not careful about the spacing on your burning kicks, it is very easy to like get your shit rocked. That's my fault. Nope, wrong one. Wrong call. That's my fault. It's fine.
Cool your jets.
Damn it, it didn't come out. Oops. Nah, I'm cooked. It's a little difficult because,
This will hurt. You're in for a shock.
yeah, that was a good call. Oh, there's the cross up. But that cross up costs like 1 bar of drive gauge, and yet if you do it incorrectly, you get the regular burning kick instead. So it's one of those things where, ooh, that was a good trade for them, but they weren't able to convert all the way. Shame. Yeah, that's fair. I think I'm at the drive loss now. I'm not, I didn't lose, but I'm at the drive disadvantage is what I mean. Nope. Yeah, that's fair. I got too greedy with that. Nope. And yeah, I'm dead now. I got too greedy. If I'd been a little bit more careful, because they hadn't really threatened any supers on Wake Up before, I wasn't looking for it. So honestly, that was fair game. Like, I'm not upset. Part of it is that, like, if somebody does not present a particular option to you, you'll overlook it, right? And when you overlook it, that's when you get caught. Good throw. Mai is tricky because she's sort of similar to Chun-Li in that, like, she has a lot of really good pokes. And her fireball game can be kind of a pain if you're not prepared for it. Mostly what Mai wants to do is if she pokes you, she can poke you with like standing heavy punch or standing heavy kick if she really wants to like make money. But yeah, that little fan clap there, that's her standing heavy punch. And then once Mai gets the knockdown, right? If she has the right knockdown, she'll throw a fan in your face and like do that stuff. And it can be very annoying to deal with. I don't like this person's club name. This person's club name is like the same as scrub shit. If you look under where somebody's rank is, you'll see their club name. People who complain about Modern and say that like it's sucky or cheap or whatever are I'm going to be a little bit rude in ways that I'm not normally when I talk about things like this. That's loser behavior. It's loser shit to say that. And like, this is as somebody who plays like classic. I don't actually like give a shit if you play modern or not. The considerations that I have to deal with if you are a modern player are for me to manage and not for you. So if you complain and say that modern is cheap and shitty and that it shouldn't be in the game, you are a loser. That is loser behavior. Get over it. Like, even if you're like, lol, it's for the memes, it's like, no, that's loser behavior. Don't do that. Ooh. Yeah, I forgot, you can't, like, when you're dealing with Kagero no Mai, you have to, like, you can't dodge it by, like, going vertical, because that hitbox reaches really high up. Nope. It's for the memes, you like loser ass memes, exactly, pretty much. I want y'all to know, remember how I said earlier that, like, once you know the range of your buttons, that was a good one. That's my fault for trying that. I don't know who saw that, or if anybody saw it, but you'll notice that I stuffed that my trying to jump out 5 times with just standing medium kick. I didn't get anything out of it significantly, aside from just, like, stuffing their shit a couple times, but it's still useful, you know? And this is why I was like before, right? That was too high up. Yep. Yep, fair. It's for the memes, like loser ass memes, and yeah, it's like I said, it's loser shit. Like, either just admit that you got outplayed. Like, this is me even speaking as somebody who's like, man, when I fight modern Zangief, I feel like years shave off of my life, right? Even as someone who feels like that, I am not going to get angry at the modern Zangief player playing modern Zangief. I'm going to get angry at myself because I know specifically what advantages modern Zangief has, and then I fucked up. It's my fault, not theirs. It's like it's loser shit. So don't do that. No, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, then I could have. Oh, that's plus as fuck. Uppercut. So yeah, now you notice I started varying which version of Burning Kick I was using, so that it was harder to tell how much farther I'd go. Right? That's plus. If Tiger Knee shakes, if the screen shakes when Sagat does a Tiger Knee on you, that means that he's plus, and you should not press a button after that. There are ways to make Tiger Knee not plus, but they mostly involve, like, don't get hit while crouching. Don't block Tiger Knee crouching, and make sure that, like, you force him to block it that you block against it closer up, usually. OD Tiger Knee and Heavy Tiger Knee are both much safer up close. I don't know if this will kill. It might, but we have to see. Yes. Who? Yeah. Again, right? You see that? Yep, that's plus. Yep. Go. Nope. Ooh, good OD uppercut. Tiger. Not the move I meant to do, but I hit Sagat, and that's the important part. I wanted to do something else that was not that. Yeah, I'm not gonna drive into you. Like, you're right next to the corner, you're expecting it. Why would I do that? Yeah, unfortunate. So what happened there is that with the first Seismo, I pushed Sagat back a little bit, and then when he tried to throw a Tiger Shot, because I'd already pushed him back, Tiger Shot still had a bunch of startup time, so it's one of those things where he put his hitbox out. He put his hitbox out when I had a Seismo coming, so it was like, lol, oops, Lamau. Or he put his hurt box out when a Seismo was coming, so he got found. Ooh, good though. I was expecting maybe like there we go. Nose flick is so fucking tough. Like, it's hard to see behind Viper's glasses, I think, because of the way that they're polarized. But when she does the critical art version of Hard Luck Rejector, she goes like she just when she does the nose flick, she has one eye closed. It's like, yo, that's so tough. That is so tough. Oh, it's Ryu. Oh, this is going to hurt. Ryu has been doing well in this game. They have been feeding this boy very much. Ryu's main thing, for people who don't play Street Fighter, if Sagat is like a very slow buttons but long buttons, big damage kind of character, Ryu is what we call like pure fundamentals, right? A lot of like what makes Ryu work is that while he's a very straightforward character, he's also very flexible. He has standing overhead. He can run strike no mix. He has options that he can do where he enforces plus frames and all sorts of other stuff like that. Like he can do a lot of things, right? His level 1 super is really good. He has an anti-air with Shoryuken. You know, a lot of this stuff. Oops. I didn't mean to do that. I did not mean to cancel Seismo. I meant to like pop Seismo and then do like pop Seismo and then kill with the other button. But luckily, I didn't completely fuck that up. I nearly died because of that. Yep. Yeah, good. Yeah, it's fair. Tatsu, but not heavy Tatsu, so no side switch. Ooh. Nah, let's just clean this up. I really could have actually lost there. I I made a very big gamble. The reason why I say that, look at Ryu's resources. Ryu had a bit of drive meter still left, and he had 3 full bars of super. He wouldn't have to use all the super to kill me, just like an OD Shoryu would have basically pushed me off and got me killed. I very nearly ate all the shit there. Nah, bud, I'm good. I totally understand what you're stopping. I do love it. Nose flip good. Yeah. Viper's a baddie. Like, that's basically the simplest way I can put it. Viper is a baddie. Nah, you're good. I said you're good, bud. Nah, no. I respect it, but no. Oops. I messed up that. Punish. What a way to go. I'm sorry, bud. And this is the main thing, right? Like, my Viper, by comparison to a lot of... oh, they wanted to go to the custom room. I'm sorry. I didn't even see that. Most people don't want to do that. I'm really sorry to that person. Most people don't do custom room after they lose the 2 set. They don't want the run back that bad usually. Which is unfortunate, but right, Ryu's whole thing is that he basically plays clean, solid defensive plays,
Stay out of my business.
but will also blow your shit up if he gets the chance. DJ is interesting. Because DJ's main thing is that, no, you didn't have the room for that, bud. I respect you trying, but you didn't have room for that. Okay. No, I can't jump out of that one. Yeah, good fake.
Cool your jets.
Ooh. Damn! That was a tight conversion. But they didn't drop that at all. Oh. Yeah, DJ's whole thing. If you watch carefully, you may see this DJ do some of it, right? DJ's whole thing is that, aside from the fact that a lot of his buttons have very deceptively long reach, he's very good at poking. He also has that. You saw that right there? Where his arm flashed golden for a second, and then it's like, lol, never mind. DJ can feint a lot of his trickier stuff. He can feint it. He can do feints like that to bait you into doing things that you shouldn't be doing. Unfortunately, for DJ, he has a very, very bad time in burnout. Because a lot of what makes DJ really threatening is really only noticeable or only really workable for him when he has drive meter. Things like being able to like drive rush or what have you, right? Or use like OD. Oof. Or use like OD moves and things like that. He needs drive meter for that. So DJ as a character, when he's in burnout, he has a very, very hard time keeping up. But like the hard part is like getting to the point where he is actually burned out. It's a little easier depending on the DJ that you're fighting against, because you can get a lot of them to do like a lot of really reckless shit that they shouldn't be doing. but sometimes you get situations like this. I'm not dead, but this hurts a lot. The other thing about DJ is that, like, again, he puts out a lot of damage. Like, if he puts hands on you, it's not necessarily like Ryu tier damage, but he hurts. And then there's like situations like this, right? Where once he has, if he still has meter, and he can then like throw stuff like OD Air Slasher. Like, OD Air Slasher is some scary shit. It is a really good fireball. Basically, the main flaw that DJ has to work with, such as it is that depending on what buttons he's poking with, you can just blow his shit up for free, in a certain sense, right? Because the thing about DJ in particular is that, like, the thing that DJ has to worry about is that a lot of his normals are not special cancelable, which also means that you can't cancel them to drive rush, which means you also can't cancel them to drive impact. So, granted, he has ways of like getting around this, right? It's not such a deal breaker that it's like, oh, like you can just always drive impact DJ for forever, right? You still have to be very deliberate about when you do it, because if you just do it any which way, he will like push your shit in for trying. Yeah, like, you saw how that was, like, deceptively safe there, right? Yeah. Also, his anti-air move is like Guile's, is a down-up charge, which means that you cannot force DJ to, like, fuck up the input on his, like his best reversal. You cannot force him to fuck up the input on that. On the other hand, he does not have access to that best reversal if he's burned out. So it's one of those things. Again, like if you can get DJ to get into burnout and he has no other resources, you have a pretty good time. If you can do that. That's the hard part. And this DJ is very good about like not doing a lot of like careless OD flash kicks. This is gonna hurt. And then it's done. Yeah, DJ is a really good character in this game. Very difficult to beat. Well, I should phrase that carefully. He's very difficult to beat if you do not understand where you can and can't call out his buttons. And even with the buttons that he cannot drive rush cancel, a lot of them are deceptively safe if he spaces them correctly. So it's not impossible to get around on a DJ, but you have to pay a lot of attention to the things that they're doing. Fair. Power wave, power wave. Good throw. Not enough, though, to actually get in close to do that. Out charge. No, you can't burn knuckle at that distance. I respect it. I was walking backward, so there might have been a chance for me to, like... Ooh, yeah, it's gonna hurt. Out charge. Just wait. Keeping enough of that butter in the tank for that. So let's see. Yeah, ooh. Ooh, good check with a jab so that they could do that. Like, that kind of thing is a lot harder for DJ, for example, right? Because his buttons don't... A lot of his buttons don't cancel like that. That was expensive. it'll kill, to be clear. But like it's not match point yet. So this, I'm not going to say this is a bad call, but now this is dependent on this Terry being able to hold that much command for the rest of this next round, which is a dangerous bet to make. Power charge. Okay. I want to be careful how I do those jump-ins, because if Terry reads it, then it's going to be nasty. Yep, OD tackle, but now you're burned out, which means that your only response is going to be a buster roll. If you need to, like... Yeah, there you go. Now you were waiting. You were fucking around too long. They were trying to avoid getting hit by Seismo. If they blocked the seismic hammer, they would have still lost. So that's why they were like getting jumpy and everything. Which is why I was still throwing the Seismos, but I wasn't doing it. I was trying to be careful about when I threw them, so I could like bait them into stepping forward into the range of one. Ooh, good. Power charge, rising tackle. Ooh. There we go. Keeping it together, just barely. Alright, yeah, good call. So the thing about like, yeah, you see, like that target combo that Terry did just now before he did the drive rush with the green slime, that is one of Terry's sort of like central, I'm gonna fuck with you a little bit sort of moves, because you can do into that, or you can do like a drive impact, or you can even cancel it into other special or super moves or things like that. If you have the mind games down, it's very good. Alright, let's see. No. Ooh, yeah, I wasn't close enough. If I'd been a little bit further out of the corner when I did that, I would have gone over the fireball and clipped him during his recovery. Like that. Power wave. Yep. Power charge. Nope, not what I meant to do there. No, I should be dead now. Yeah, I messed up and I got a little bit too twitchy. Yeah, I'm trying to jump too much now. Yeah, okay. And now they're waiting for that too. Alright. That situation would have been a lot of difficult options there in my case. Oh yeah, that was a good one to come in with, because then you could just wait and check and see what I did. Crack shoot, quick burn. Okay, quick burn gives you a lot of the meaty frames there. Power charge, rising tackle. Yeah. Yeah, this Terry is pretty just practiced up. They know it. One of the other things that also makes Terry as a character, one of the things that he really does very well, is that he's also an all-rounder, very much like Ryu. But he is particularly very good at, especially if you get to like pressing buttons you shouldn't be doing, Terry will really blow you up for that. Kind of like Bison, actually, to be honest with you. Oh no, I might be dead. Yeah. So Bison's whole thing. Bison is also like powerhouse. Is also like the powerhouse that will blow you up for pressing buttons where you should be pressing buttons. Very much his thing. I could have punished, but I messed it up. That's not. Oh, that was safe because of because I had Psycho Mine on me. Never mind. Oh. I'm not dead, but this is gonna hurt a lot, and they might get here. Yeah, like you are gonna have to approach. Like I'm not going near you. Yeah. So Bison's whole thing is that while he does not have a very high walking move speed, a lot of his other moves will reposition him very quickly, or put him in positions where he can like do shit like that. The main flaw that Bison unfortunately has to deal with is that mostly, such as it is that he... Ooh, that would've been nasty, and now I'm stunned. Yeah, Bison basically is just like a drive gauge bully. His main thing is that he will absolutely just eat the drive gauge up if he feels like it. Ooh, yeah, fair. Yeah, that's fair. Good though. I should have just been throwing seismos or trying to burn and kick to force the issue a little bit, but I wasn't feeling confident. Yeah, knee press nightmare. So yeah, basically when Bison is on the back foot or has to like act defensively, all he has are system mechanics and his supers. He has no meterless, well, not that anybody has meterless reversal in this game, but what I mean specifically is that Bison has to spend super meter in order to like punish people. Oh yeah, it's plus. I'm dead. Anyway, so yeah, Bison's whole thing as a character is that he does not have the capacity to move very quickly normally. So here's where we get tricky, right? With Bison in particular, while he does not move very quickly,
Stay out of my business.
His special moves reposition him very quickly, and while his buttons are slow, if he has gotten you in a knockdown and then he does a thing, you kind of eat shit in certain circumstances. That's not safe, buddy. I respect you trying, but that's not safe. Let me talk about Luke, actually, because this is the match I'm fighting right now. The main thing with Luke that's a little scary is that because a lot of Luke's normals move him forward a little bit when he does them, you have to be very careful about how you whip punch Luke, or try to, because if you extend a limb too far out, and Luke has done one of his normals that takes him forward a little bit, like standing heavy kick or some shit, you don't have a good time. Oh, damn. Is heavy flash knuckle? Is that drive impact safe? I'm gonna have to try that a time or two more just to see if that is actually the case. If I just got on my feet. Rising uppercut. Yeah, okay. This person, I may just have to be willing to, like, I know for a fact that's not, so. Alright. Yeah, like you saw that punch move Luke forward a little bit, right? Because, yeah, so like a lot of Luke's normals, because they moved him forward a little bit, if you have even like a relatively good sense of spacing and you're playing Luke, you can make footsies really annoying for people, especially at like close or like close mid-range. Ooh. Yep. Okay, yeah, no. It's safe. I get it. So, I should maybe be dead here. No. I'm surprised. Sandblast. Alright, let's see. I can run this back, but it's gonna be very difficult. Yeah. A lot of Luke's other normals, even if they don't move him forward, have pretty good range. So it can also be very difficult to deal with him in that particular sense, which is why I'm like, you have to be very careful about how you try to like poke against Luke, because if you fuck up and you put a limb out somewhere where it really shouldn't be, especially against him, if he's throwing one of his normals that moves him forward, you just eat a punish. And depending on if you did like standing heavy punch or standing heavy kick and he gets that as like a counter hit or a punish counter, you don't have a good time. It hurts. Yeah, see? Like, in a different circumstance, that's his standing heavy punch. So like, Luke can throw a standing heavy punch and hit you from roughly the same range that like Viper can hit you with her standing heavy punch. Which I tried there, but which I couldn't quite pull off because Sandblast hit me first. Oops. Yeah, see? And that's the thing with like Luke's heavy flash knuckle that he just did there. Ooh. I'm dead. But with Luke's, so heavy flash knuckle is the one where he does like punch strike, right? So y'all have seen it a couple of times now. And now this is something I have to try to remember. The thing about heavy flash knuckle, when Luke used it in particular, is that with heavy flash knuckle, If he doesn't charge it, it's drive impact safe. If he does charge it, it's not. Which is something I wasn't sure of until those couple of times.
A new warrior has entered the ring!
So yeah, if you don't mind the look of Luke, for example, and you're like, I want to play Street Fighter 6, but I don't know who to start with. Luke is a good character for that.
Let's rock.
Because especially if you learn the range of his normals, Luke will be very good at teaching you how to whip punish. How to like actually space people in ways that will like let you blow their shit up for free. He's very good at that.
Round 2. Fight!
So Aki is interesting because Aki can also do like pokes, but her main mechanic is poison, like that. She poisons you and then hits you with certain other moves and pops something called Toxic Blossom, which usually lets her do combo stuff to you. If she procs a Toxic Blossom. It depends on the move, and it usually is not. And it requires you to be poisoned first, and not every move that Aki has will proc Toxic Blossom on you. I meant to do SA3 there, but whatever. That was a little careless of me. I meant to do Super R3 there. Because it might have killed, or it might have put Aki in such a health position that like she would have been too afraid to like actually try to like look around and find out. Yep, fair. Nope. That Toxic Blossom, and then it's like stuff like that you can do when you pocket, right? And I should be dead now. So that's the thing about Aki's poison, right? Even if she doesn't like proc Toxic Blossom immediately, the poison will still stick around for a while, and as it decreases your health, the main thing is that like, especially with the way that like drive impacts work in this game, where a large part of being able to use drive impact successfully means that you're willing to like wager up some of your health, even if temporarily, to like sort of force your way in on somebody. If you are somebody that likes using drive impacts a lot, getting poisoned by Aki a lot of the time is not ideal. It directly erodes your ability to like Oop, yeah, fair. Yeah, good throw. The other thing about Aki's poison is that if you hit her, she has to be hit, right? Like she can't, like if she blocks the hit, the poison will still go off, but if you actually literally hit her clean while you're poisoned, the poison stops. Which is also something of a psychological tactic for her, because she can exploit the fact that you are going to be impatient and want to get the poison off of you to make sure that she is like doing, like putting buttons in spots where that's honestly super interesting play dynamic, the poison thing. Yeah. The previous character in this franchise that actually has a poison mechanic, who is Fong from Street Fighter V, he also had, his was not as interesting, just because, try not to be like too much of a crab about certain things, but Street Fighter V did a thing where, unfortunately, when it leaned into characters' unique system mechanics, that's gonna hurt. I need to stop jumping so much because I keep getting hit by HP knocked. I keep getting hit by HP lash, and that's why I keep getting fucking knocked out of the air. I need to stop doing that so much. So yeah, like Fong didn't have as many unique interactions with his poison in the way that like Aki does. Oh, she doesn't have enough for Super R3, but it's still going to hurt a lot. Never mind, she built enough to actually kill me. How much you have enough for SA3? It's fine. Me and my Magma. But yeah. Fong's poison mechanic in Street Fighter V was kind of underbaked. Part of that was his own toolkit. Part of that was that what's the word? Street Fighter V's main flaw, from a design perspective, for me personally, is what I'm going to say here. This is my personal opinion about this. Do not take this as gospel. My personal opinion is that Street Fighter V really wanted to lean into the thing where, like, yeah, like every character has like unique feeling mechanics and stuff like that. But the main way that they did this was by virtue of something called the B system, right? And with the B system, what it was is that every character at launch had one special ability called a V skill, and then another sort of like desperation power-up mode called a V trigger, right? And on launch, every character only had one, right? Every character only had one V skill, one V trigger, and a lot of like the interesting things that a lot of characters could do was locked usually behind like V trigger, right? Like Cammy had a whole thing where like in this game, Cammy can charge up her I'll explain in a minute. Cammy can charge up her heavy spiral arrow and heavy cannon spike, so they do multiple hits, right? But in Street Fighter V, right, the primary way that you got to do that, you had to activate her V trigger. What would later become her V trigger 1, rather. Right? Like you didn't get to like. Otherwise, you had a pretty serviceable, moveset with her in Street Fighter V. And then if you want to do like the really fun stuff, as far as like some of the things that you can just do by default in this game, with Cammy, you had to like pop V trigger. There's some characters who just didn't get to do cool shit until they popped V-Trigger, right? And the main reason why that was an issue is because, like, essentially speaking, you are gating off all the cool things that your character can do to the point to specifically the state of the game where they are nearly dead. Because the only way that you would build the meter for the V-Trigger was by taking damage, usually. There are other ways to do it, like using the V skill that you have or what have you. But, you know, the most practical way, as far as, like, how it happen for most people is, you know, the practical way. Ooh, alright. Like, the practical way to actually get your V-Trigger is either you use your V-skill a bunch or you take damage and you get it that way, right? So then by the time you have V-Trigger for most characters, you got the hell beat out of you, right? And then for a lot of characters, like a lot of the interesting things that they would have been able to do, like you couldn't really do unless you were like already really close to death, right? And that's why I was saying in that sense, Street Fighter V leaned too much into making too specific a lot of the strengths of the individual system in that game at cost of like letting characters do cool shit just generally, right? The drive system in Street Fighter 6 by comparison is generally more accessible. Like a lot of characters can leverage drive system in some way that is interesting or useful for them. For some of them, it's like, yeah, like as a character, I happen to have like a drive rush that goes really far, so I can use it to like I can use it as an approach tool. Like DJ's drive rush is very much like that, right? Like DJ's drive rush is really, really good for approaching because he goes very far. Like the acceleration of it is very, very, very high and very fast. So it's very easy for DJ to use it as like a lol, I'm on top of your shit now sort of thing, right? And then a lot of his overdrive moves are also really good. So mostly for him, it's like, yeah. And in certain situations, he can use drive rush as a conversion option. And so like situations like that, right, make DJ, like, he's very good at using the drive rush system. God damn, I messed up the punish. Not this one though. And so, like, the drive system is generally more accessible to more characters. And so, Street Fighter 6 feels less like, damn, my character can't do cool shit, this is annoying. Right? It does admittedly have a different problem where it takes a little more work to get used to characters who do not have a lot of normals that you can do. Oops. Good throw. And now I'm back in the corner. Oops. Wembu. No, you should have done. Yuachi. The lag spikes are getting on my nerves a little. I don't think it's their fault, but yeah, it's a little annoying. I don't like that. Yeah, like, Shinobi Bachi is not safe at all. Like, if Amai does that to you, and they either like barring very specific circumstances where like you space it really well, that shit's not safe. Bubachi. And neither is you like it's like that shit's not safe. Yeah, the lag spikes are not helping. I do not want to run that because those lag spikes were nasty. Never get on my nerves. But yeah, Fong, for various reasons, the poison mechanic just didn't suit. It wasn't bad, but he was doing less interesting things with the poison mechanic in Street Fighter V than Aki does with hers in Street Fighter 6.
Here comes a new challenger.
The drive system also just serves her much better.
Round one. Fight.
So you can play Ryu aggressively the way that this Ryu is playing him, but you have to. There's a certain level of confidence you have to really be able to walk with in order to make that work. Nope. I need to also not be the first person to jump because I'll just get hit with the Shoryu. No! Pushed you too far out for that to work, and I respect that you tried, but no. Nope. Nope. Hadouken. Hadouken. That's my fault. I didn't do like a burning install it. Nope. And forward jumping there is what got me fun. The thing about burning kick is that it does have a bit of startup. So if the other person suspects you're going to do it and they jump forward with the right timing, they will in fact just kind of like kick your shit in. Stop that. They could have gotten a kill if they'd chosen to burn a little bit more without having to like risk me running it back, but
Here comes a new challenger.
okay, case in point, right? Marisa. Right? So Marisa's whole thing in particular, as far as her interactions with the drive system, right? For her, it's interesting because there are certain ways in which she does benefit a lot in certain aspects. It's with certain setups. Marisa with resources and the ability to do, like, for example, OD, like that. And more importantly, being able to use like stuff like OD. I'm fucked.
Round two. Fight.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, like this shit, right? Like you couldn't do this in Street Fighter, and I'm not saying that to like dunk on Street Fighter 6. I'm saying that as like a thing where it's like the specific thing is that because the drive system is much less like hyper specific to how each character works, aside from things like you can cancel these normals, and so we can do drive rush cancels out of these normals. Those things do have an impact, and there are characters who have a much harder time because of that dynamic, 100%. But yeah, now Marisa has been in the corner. Ooh. And it's one of those things where now I have to like kind of like push back, right?
Hold still.
Thankfully, I got out the drive impact before the second punch because Marisa, when she fully charges Gladius, fully charged Gladius just beats the living fuck out of drive impacts. It's not a good time. Oops. If she doesn't charge the Gladius, though, like if she does not charge Gladius, you can drive impact Gladius, but like drive impact against Gladius is it's a risky proposition for various reasons, right? Like if you fuck up and she charges it, then your drive impact got broken and you just ate like a good 2,000 damage. I don't know the exact damage values, so let me not say the damage values. The point is that it just hurts a lot. And like the whole thing with Marisa in particular is that she does kind of like, she makes her bread and butter off of eating your drive gauge. So if Marisa forces you to block a lot, she is getting what she wants. Marisa's whole thing is to force you to block a bunch so that she can force you to eat shit. Unfortunately for her, I'm also
Viper wins. Round 1.
10% more on the ball now. But yeah, like you saw that double punch and how I'm already down like a bar of drive gauge. This is what Marisa is trying to do to your drive gauge. Like her whole game, like a large part of her game plan is mostly just how badly can I fuck up your drive gauge, so like even if you manage to like push me off, still at the drive disadvantage because Marisa had me blocking so much of her other shit before. So it's like nope. If she hadn't jumped backward and then jumped forward, or maybe been a little more forward when she jumped, I might have been able to catch her with that. But nope, it doesn't happen like that. Good Quadriga. That's a tumble, step kick. not a bad major. I've got the drive advantage, but now I have all of that health missing and I'm still in the corner. Right? Maritha's main disadvantage, such as it is that she does not deal well with lows. Oh, fuck. So yeah, you remember what I said about how, like, trying to gamble against whether or not you can drive impact Gladius is a bad idea? That's why. Don't do that. With Maritha, if you suspect the Gladius is coming and you're like, I don't know what to do, don't fucking drive impact. Just don't. Don't do it. Do not do it. Don't do it. No. Just don't. Like, if you're like, I don't know, I'm afraid of getting, like, hit with fucking Gladius, what do? Gladius has upper body armor and has armor break properties, so either mash your best lows to check her, or if you think it's getting charged, just, if you have to, just fucking drive parry it. At least that way you don't eat like a shit ton of damage for like trying to drive impact it. Okay. Oh wow. Fucking wake up ODSPD, that's fucking wild. But I respect it. I messed up the punish on that. There we go. So that big like duff punch that Zangief does, it does have a hit of armor on it. If you really want to punish it like correctly, the correct answer is basically you drive impact it. It's like trying to like hit him afterward is usually not a winning proposition. Those headbutts are all plus. Whew. Unfortunately for Zangief, because Zangief used that super art too earlier, unfortunately, kind of ruined his ability for a proper comeback. Yep, headbutt is plus. You cannot, in most circumstances, like actually get a drive impact after a headbutt. Like that shit's plus. You just cannot contest it like that. It doesn't work. That was really expensive on my part, but I did not eat a drive impact, so I'll take it. Running Bear has armor. And then OD, SPD. Yeah, so this is what I mean, right? Like, Zangief is not like a very fast character, but at specific distances, right? Like, his drive rush will let him absolutely like fuck your shit up, right? Drive, like a headbutt out of a drive rush is incredibly plus, and it becomes a fucking nightmare. Nah. If I had been a little bit more careful how I set that up, I might have been able to do a safe jump, maybe, but I do not know safe jumps like that. This person may one and done me because they didn't hit rematch immediately. Or rather, after getting the one back, they don't want to do it again. Which is fair, I guess. But yeah, right? Like Zangief is a good example of a character who this is why, at least in some aspects, right? Like the drive system is much more flexible, right? Because with V skill and V trigger, that one super that Zangief did where he tried to do the spinny thing and hit me, that used to be one of his V triggers. He used to have to get beat to hell to use that. Now he only needs 2 super beaters to do it. And instead he can like do other interesting things, right?
Show me everything you have.
Let's rock.
Round one. Fight.
That's an overhead, and that's my fault for not.
You're in for a hold still.
Ooh. Yeah, and lag spikes, even with this person here who is on wired, like having lag spikes is not, it's not fun. It is not a good time. Cosmo is correct. It is what we call bad civilization. They tried to do a drive impact maybe, and then the rollbacks ate it. Yeah, that's fair. Like SPD, again. Ooh, that would have been a perfect parry if they'd gotten the hiding right. Unfortunate. But then, nope. Ooh. I didn't have to do that, but I wanted to be sure. Oh, they quit. They quit. That's unfortunate. They quit. Like, I know that we were having connection issues, but also, like, that it completely disconnected right at that point, right there, Aurora Borealis. Like, at a time like that, it's just like, yo. Like, even when like the connection is sketchy, right? Even when the connection is sketchy, when it's like, wow, now you disconnected, it's like, nah.
Stay out of my business.
Round one.
Sometimes like depends on, yeah, like that was almost certainly like.
Playtime.
Thank you for the free meter. Yeah, you have it. Yeah, alright. Lily might be cooking a little bit now. Oh yeah, that was good. Off the spire. It was like not heavy. It was heavy or OD. It was like if it was medium heavy or OD, I would have died. Probably. Lost. Fuck. So with Lily, right? The way that it works is that if Lily gets to do like Winds Gather or Winds Dance, like that, she gets a Windclad stock, which makes her Condor Spire, her next Condor Spire or her next Condor Dive incredibly plus, or her next Tomahawk Buster does more damage, other stuff, right? The main point is that it is not good for you as the person playing against Lily, for Lily to have Windclad Spires. You don't want that. It is not a good time. Because then you have to spend a lot more time when Lily has Windclad stocks, hoping that she does not get you in a block string that ends in a Condor Spire, because if it does, he is plus, and then that starts doing vortex things. Why is Talon in this game? Because Capcom decided to be cheeky. Also, hi Sin. Lily is fun she is mostly like a power type character. Ooh. She's mostly a power type character, which seems at odds with hang on. Damn it, I fucked up the input. I'm worse at that on my right side, and I need to be more careful because that's gonna get me killed. But like, yeah, Lily's main thing is that yeah, she's very much like a power type character, and her command grab is very scary. But the scarier thing is like Windclad Spire or Windclad Dive. Like that shit's just not fun. It's not. In the sense of, I don't mean in the sense of like, oh, it's not like, oh, it's like anti-fun to play against and it's like a scrub ass move. It's not what I mean. What I mean when I say that it's not fun is that like, if Lily has Windclad, she basically makes your life a lot harder if she gets her setups going. You really do not want her to have that. It's not that she's useless without it either, because a lot of her normals are also just really hard hitting, right? That's plus as fuck, right? And that's a situation where literally, I could have gotten command thrown, and I would have had no recourse against that because it's just plus. And also, while yeah, see? Like, you saw that there, right? I tried jumping to avoid getting hit by, you know what I said before about how, like, sometimes you're like, I don't know if I can, like, react to drive impact in time or something, if I'm gonna get drive impacted or whatever, right? And I was like, just... Sometimes the answer is just to, I got lucky there. I had a brain part, and I thought I had more drive gauge than I did. If Lily had teched that throw, I would have been in a really shitty situation, and I got lucky that she didn't. Also, it's really hard to anti-air Lily because her standing heavy punch reaches like 6 million feet in front of her. Lily is very, very good at poking. Her kicks are not very good at poking, but yeah, see that right there? Basically, literally, if Lily has Windclad Condor Spire up, she puts you in a situation where you basically have to guess against that shit all the time. It's not fun. Now I put myself in the corner. I wasn't paying attention. Hi. No. Yeah. Super plus. Don't want to get hit by Thunder Spire. Do not want to get hit by. Ooh. Okay, this is nope. Not good enough. I don't know if I should. I shouldn't have jumped there probably. Yeah. So this is why Lily is scared. She has to work to get in, but her punch buttons all have really, really high range and are very good for pokes or for punishes or otherwise like blowing people's backs out. And it can be very very intimidating deal. Like you saw that shit, right? So this is why, again, I wanted to kind of like the thing I said earlier where I was like the drive system is generally much more open-ended and works better for a lot of characters. That's the kind of thing I mean, right? Like Lily's kicks may have really pathetic range, but like a lot of her like drive, like the fact that a lot of her drive rushing with some of her longer normals vastly increases their reach and makes them more plus, right? So then a lot of like her pokes, ooh, what they were trying to do there was hit me with a crumple from that punish. Yeah, OD Spire. I could have not died from that if I blocked it, but I didn't get yeah, so like poking Lily, if she has the room to like use a lot of like her punching normals, is very difficult because like. So yeah, this is what I mean when I say that like Lily is like a powerhouse character. Like you notice that even though she has a command grab, she didn't have to like use it to do damage, right? She pokes, throws Windclad. Like that's the thing, right? Like she pokes, so like will occasionally work on getting Windclad, and then she pushes her shit in without necessarily having to use command throw all the time. The most dangerous thing about a character with a command throw is not that they use it all the time to kill you, but that they threaten to use it and then don't until they do. Guile's a very different game plan. Guile's main thing is that he will harass you with like sonic booms and things like that, as well as his very fantastic set of normals. That somersault is his anti-air, and much like, you remember how I said with DJ before, that's like, right, with DJ, you cannot, like, you can't force DJ to fuck up, you cannot force DJ to, fuck up his reversal. Same thing with Guile. Guile's reversal is just like, you hold down for 2 seconds, then press up and kick, and you get a somersault kick. And if you do the OD version, that stuffs very many things clean in this game. You have to be very careful. And because Guile can do it by holding down back, there are even situations while he's blocking where he may be doing a block string on him, and he is charging up that flash kick for an OD reversal. Why'd I do that? I am probably dead here if he doesn't fuck this up. Also, don't try to drive impact Guile very often. Not never. Because as y'all saw, there are times where it's worth it, right? But you want to be very deliberate about when you try it. Like, definitely not when he's throwing fireballs. Do not try it then. It is incredibly difficult to successfully drive impact a Sonic Boom. Just by the nature of the way that Guile recovers very quickly from Sonic Boom, trying to flash kick him, trying to like drive impact him through one is not a winning proposition. You don't have a good. It's not a good idea. Unless, like this Guile, you do some bullshit and press some buttons after Sonic Boom that are very susceptible to drive impact, right? Like again, Guile's normals are very, like in most Street Fighter games, Guile's normals are usually really good. Because for the most part, he usually only has two special moves. Usually, he has Sonic Boom and he has Flash Kick, and so the end result of that is that his normals and command normals are usually made very good to compensate for that. And he's a very solid character for like very defensive play. I got him scared. Because the thing is that those burning kicks, if Guile had anticipated that they were coming, he could have flash kicked me out of at least two of those, and I would have had to eat shit. Straight up. There would have been no getting around that. Like that, right? So now, like, I can't... Not that I can't ever do that, but, like, my ability to get away with that is extremely curtailed. I need to be careful about that. Yep, blade. The main thing is that Guile, at least in this game, cannot charge a flash kick while moving forward. So if you ever see Guile moving forward, you are generally safe from getting popped in the nose with a flash kick. But any situation in which Guile, any situation in which Guile is not moving forward, whether he's getting up and getting knocked down or he's blocking a block string, there could be a flash, like a flash kick is an any second kind of thing, like that. And it sounds scary, and it is, but the main trick to it is most that, like, immediately after Guile has done a Sonic Boom, he usually cannot flash kick right after that. So at like this distance, yeah, like there, no. Like the moment that Guile was doing that like low kick, he was charging up for a flash kick. This is the kind of shit that I need, right? So, but yeah, like you saw how I didn't get flash kick there, right? So, oops. That jump in I did was very risky because at the angle that I was gonna get, if Guile had done the flash kick, I would have eaten so much shit. Also, welcome back, Cat Wizard. Perfect. There we go. Very rare footage of me being able to actually, like, I mean, again, it's not impossible to drive impact the Sonic Boom from Guile, but you literally have to be extremely clean with that timing. Or what happens is the Sonic Boom will hit you, Guile will recover, and he'll just DI you right back. It is very, very difficult to put yourself in a situation where you can successfully drive impact against a Sonic Boom and not get your shit pushed in afterward. So it's not something that I recommend. You should not do it. It is not a good idea. with Sonic Boom, ideally, like with a lot of other projectiles in fighting games, you would prefer ideally to neutral jump over it, because while it is on screen, Guile cannot throw another one. You can forward jump over it at certain distances, but I do not recommend forward jumping over a Sonic Boom if you are far out, because usually what will happen is that unless your spacing is very, very carefully controlled, the thing that will happen is that you will have given Guile time to charge up. I'm pressing buttons like a doofus. I should be dead. If you try to jump against the Sonic Boom from too far out, then what winds up happening is Guile will have enough time to charge up a flash kick, and then flash kick you. Yeah, this Terry's in my brain right now. I see tackle. Okay. No! Nah. Nah, that was a good check. You didn't have the power geyser. That was rude. I'm not upset. It's just rude. I'm not angry, but it was rude. Like, it's about sending a message. I admit that. Like, sometimes you gotta just send a message. I get it. Okay. I sort of see what they're doing, but I'm not responding correctly. A lot of it is that they're being very deliberate about their spacing in a way that a lot of Terry players usually aren't. Oh no. I've backed up too far. Otherwise that wouldn't have worked. So the thing with Burn Knuckle is that basically the further away you are from Terry when he does it, the more safe it is for him. Ooh. And then I still had one more option in the tank after that if all of that had killed. So we're living. Ooh, that was expensive on his part, but I'm put to the corner, so it was worth it. And then yeah, the reason why they use Super R3 there, aside from the damage, is that now it puts us roughly equal. No, they get the time advantage now. Nice tackle. Yep. Yep. Mage jump. So, the thing that you do have to get used to as Viper, which is very useful, is that in situations where people want to avoid getting hit by Seismo, you have to learn how to do Seismo fakes. And the main reason why is because, well, hang on. It's not like a surefire thing, right? It depends on how well you can condition. And some people are ungovernable and will not be conditioned, so it doesn't always work. But the main thing is that in situations where you can make people think that you're going to Seismo, if you fake it, you can usually, because they'll usually jump. But as you see, you need a little bit of space to actually like do a Seismo correctly. Yeah, I baited that. That's fine. No, not that time. Nope, I wanted super jump there and I just didn't do the input thing. Burn Knuckle. Nice tackle. Nah, I'm cooked. Again, Terry's main thing is also that he just does a lot of damage. Some of his normals are really awkward, but if the Terry is comfortable with using like drive rushes at the right spots to help, if they're comfortable using drive rushes at the right spots to extend their normals and otherwise get some proper like plus frames and stuff, shit just hurts. And it hurts a lot, and it's very difficult to sort of deal with him in that aspect. I might have fought this mine before. I didn't need to do that. That was a little bit. That's plus. No, that doesn't work. You can't. Like, that's not safe like that. I expect that you were trying, but it's not safe. Good throw. Yep, there's ODVU engine. Ooh, yeah. Dive kick was not a bad call there, really. Because again, burning kick is really strong, but unfortunately it does take a little while to start up, and it does stall Viper's air momentum, which is a good thing sometimes, but not always a good thing. It depends on the situation. Yep. I may still be alive, but I'm almost certainly burned out. Or close to it. Yeah, not ideal. And I didn't have enough health to... Even if I had tried to like drive impact that, for example, I could have gotten counter DI'd. Super would have been the best way out of that, and even then it would have been a tight fight back. Bachi for the corner carry. Bachi for the corner carry. Yeah, the other thing that's difficult about playing Viper, you may recall how I said once before that like one of Bison's major character flaws, which is deliberate, is that it's like, right, if Bison is in a bad situation defensively, it's either system mechanics or he has to spend super meter. Viper's in the same situation. Like if I'm trying to get somebody up off of me and I'm in a bad defensive position, I literally, it's like I gotta burn super meter. That's my answer. This is more so that they can, I take damage and they recover some drive gauge. So again, sometimes, right, even if it's like, oh, this doesn't kill, right, there are other tactical reasons besides I need this to kill to do certain things, right? Oops. Yeah. I could have bone tech that if I knew it was coming, but I didn't anticipate it, so I wasn't ready. But that's on me. So yeah, there's ever a circumstance where like that's on me or that's my fault or whatever. Like that's the main. People have complimented me before on like the fact that I have a very positive attitude about fighting games, and sometimes they ask like, how do you do that? Or what have you. And a lot of it is that I've had to change the way that I talk about mistakes in fighting games, about things my opponents do in fighting games, right? If I miss a punish, I say I missed a punish, right? And it doesn't matter if it was like, oh, but I pressed it or what have you. For me personally, I did my best to remove as much of that as I could from my vocabulary. Like, oh, but I could have sworn I pressed it. It still comes out every now and again, but the main reason why I sort of removed a lot of that from my vocabulary is because from an essential point of view, it doesn't really matter if I actually did do the correct input or not and it just didn't come out. It doesn't really matter. Because the point is that maybe I did do the correct input or maybe I didn't. The point is that whatever happened, the thing didn't come out, therefore it was probably my fault. I probably fucked it up somewhere. And that mentality, at least for me, once I've gotten past the particular point of I fucked it up so I suck, right? It's made it a lot easier to sort of be generally more positive. And generally like a little bit less frustrated with myself in certain aspects with fighting games. Yeah. Whereas like some of it is just like, nah. Like, for example, I shouldn't have pressed that button. Right? Sometimes I will say things like, oh yeah, I did not mean to do that, and that is true. I may not have meant to do a particular thing, but I did it anyway. And so I have to live with the consequences of the fact that I may not have meant to do that, but I did it. And once I got into the mindset of going like, and sometimes that's just how it is, it made it a lot easier to sort of like really deal with some of what you might consider the baggage from playing fighting games. A lot of it is really about mindset stuff. Of the general opinion that with more so than like stuff about inputs or whatever, mindset is one of the major things that will sort of make or break most prospective fighting game players, right? Hold on. This Cammy's whip punishes are way too clean. I have to focus space for a second. So, as a Cammy main, Cammy's main thing, she's not like Viper where she's got like a cute like standing overhead or like a funny little like mechanic or canceling normals that she normally can't cancel and stuff like that. Cammy doesn't have any of that. Cammy is a very straightforward strike strike throw character with really good normals and a really obnoxious back kick. That and like a DP. That's all Cammy has. And what this means is that essentially speaking, as a Cammy player, and when I say that she's an honest character, I don't mean this to say that like being a dishonest character means that you're broken or whatever, but she is very extremely fundamentally straightforward. And there are certain things that like if you are not clean on them as a Cammy player, you will just get your shit pushed in as the Cammy player because people will be able to exploit it. I think that's part of why Iron's use having positive attitude, just put the effort. Yeah, it's the thing. It is a learned skill. To go back to that for a second, it is a learned skill, and I had to like actively learn how to cultivate because it is very easy in fighting games to either. That's why I was like, remember how I was saying before that like people who go like people with like names like oh modern sucks, or people who complain about modern are scrubs. And that's like loser behavior. This is sort of the circumstance in which I mean that. Good ODDP. Yeah, this Cammy understands the smell of the game. I am not even upset. This Cammy understands it. So this is what I mean, right? Like this Cammy, if you look very carefully, they're not doing a lot of dive kicking. They're mostly just poking and being very deliberate about where they place their buttons, right? And there's the strike, right? So like, Cammy's crouching heavy punch, if you get Cammy's crouching heavy punch out of like a drive rush, right? Or a situation where you're able to set it up as a meaty, like it opens a lot of doors for her, right? And this Cammy has done like no dive kicks at all, which is not unusual for a Cammy player necessarily, but it means that you have, as the Cammy player, if you're not using a lot of dive kicks, it usually means that you're very confident in your ability to control people with just your ground normals, right? Because the thing about Cammy's dive kicks in particular, Cammy's dive kicks, especially if you can do them at minimum height, are incredibly good at like crushing lows. So if people are like throwing out stuff like this or whatever, right? You do low dive kick and you crush that shit for free. But people who understand this about Cammy will not let you do that very easily. And so that Cammy did not use any dive kicks in that set at all, which means that they were very confident in their ability to just control me on the ground.
Let's rock.
And that's the kind of character Cammy is, right? Where it's like, if you like as a Cammy, if you are not doing dive kicks and you are successfully like putting somebody through the ringer, that means that you have an understanding of how to control them on the ground very well. Yeah, good tiger meat. There we go. But yeah, like it's a learned skill as far as like learning how to like throttle that part of you that is just like, man, you know, blah blah, this character's cheap or blah blah, this player's a bum, they were like cheesing and whatever. Like no. Like that, like there are things that people do that are annoying in fighting games that they do not enjoy fighting against, and that's true. I'm not going to deny that. Like, Blanca as a character is fundamentally annoying for me, right? Like, I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't feel like that, right? But the main thing is that, like, I acknowledge that yes, Blanca is annoying and a pain in the ass to fight, but that does not mean that the Blanca player is, like, cheating or whatever by playing Blanca, right? That's not the way that this shit works. And it's like scrub shit. Like, if this Sagat was also, like, using a bunch of projectiles to kind of, like, push my shit in and getting away with it, right? Like, I have two answers here. I can either go, this Sagat's, like, cheesing and it's unfair, or I can just be like, okay, I need to figure out how to deal with this, right? Positive attitude doesn't mean ignoring any negative things you feel. I think you got pride of it. Yeah. So, like... So my response can be, oh yeah, like Sagat's like cheesing with like tiger shots, or I can just be like, okay, this is annoying, how do I deal with it? If you do not want to be like solutions oriented in fighting games, you are going to have a hard time. And it does not matter how simple the inputs are or whatever else, right? And this is why, at least for me, a lot of the discussion around like inputs in fighting games and whether or not fighting games should have motion inputs or not, a lot of that shit is immaterial because people are kind of missing the major point, which is that it's like the thing that makes fighting games difficult to get into. Like, I know this is not entirely comparable, but I'm going to just draw this example here, right? Like, people play first-person shooters with about as much action complexity as a fighting game, right? And generally don't have issues with it. And the main reason is partially because, right, like depending on the person and depending on the shooter, right, it is very much a situation where it is more intuitive to be like, all right, aim, pull, right? Whereas in fighting games, you have a couple more things to learn how to fight, right? So the main thing is that, like, it is mostly that the input scheme is largely foreign to a lot of people, right? the wrong one. The input scheme is foreign to a lot of people, and they mistake that for that's why this is hard, as opposed to the input scheme is foreign to me, but also I have to think more carefully about spacing, timing, and all these other things, right? These are not things where these are things where I actually have to put some calculated thought into the way that this works. And me saying that is not to say that like you have to turn into a scientist to play fighting games. Like that's really not it. Like you do not need to know a bunch of shit about frame data to start playing a fighting game and to have fun, right? The thing that you have, the main thing that if you are a new fighting game player that you have to be willing to sort of like accept is that like you are trying to come to an understanding of a system where you are going to have to deal with the psychology of your opponent and the psychology of yourself. Right? Those are the key things. The psychology of your opponent in this context, meaning dealing with the psychology of your opponent in this context means understanding the things that they want to do, understanding the habits they have, and then part of that is also understanding that they, depending on the opponent, some of them will be able to like figure out the thing that you are doing, and you're gonna have to figure out ways to deal with it. And that's the hard part about actually learning fighting games, right? Like the inputs, yeah, the inputs have their challenge and all that, but like the actual difficult thing is about learning how to interface with this, not just from like an input perspective, but just understanding how you learn how to interact with the system. Right? That is always going to be the hard one. I didn't mean to do that, but I did it. So again, you see, right? You see how I said I didn't mean to do that, but I did, so I have to accept the consequences of that. Let me chill out a little bit and not do that. I am driving that thing a little bit too much, and that was too high up. Yeah, and I did not have the frames there to be able to be jabbing. Yep. Yeah, I could have afforded to push a little there because this person has not presented. This person has not presented OD rising tackle as a wake up option yet. Yep. I didn't press the button, so that's good. Alright, let's see if I can make this work. I might be able to catch some, but maybe not. This is a little tricky. This Terry is doing a good job of blocking, and I am not swatting them out of the air nearly enough for my liking. Power wave. I need to be careful of these jumps, because I will, at some point, get hit by a rising tackle. Here. Yeah, ooh. Yeah, I tried to hit them with my crouching medium kick, and that was not fast enough. Nope. Okay. Power wave. Yeah, see how you see those little adjustment walks there? Trying to make sure that they don't get hit by like oof. Nah, that might be cooked. Maybe. That might be done. This might be done. Maybe. Very barely though. Okay. Yeah. If I'd done that higher, I would have bobbed a little and avoided getting hit by it. It's gonna be a little tough. This Terry has a very good understanding of the normals that he wants to use, and it is a little difficult to position himself the way that I would like with some of these. Okay. Ah.
Hold still.
You Buster Wolf, I should be dead. Yeah. This Terry's spacing is very tight, and it's very difficult to like actually like back them, which is why fuck. Oh, no, I shouldn't have done that. Too thirsty. So yeah, whenever against people who play this game a lot, trying to drive impact them when they are near the corner is usually just a fucking terrible idea, and you shouldn't do it. There are many reasons for this. There are many reasons for why you shouldn't do this, but most of them are, most people will anticipate that you are trying to drive impact them near the corner. And so they will be ready with a counter DI, usually. I wanted to do that. Okay. Oops. Nope. Guys, tackle. Nope. I'm fucking cut. I'm done. It's done. I'm dead. I'm dead. Just don't drop it. That was good though. I couldn't figure out a way to make them crack. And so that's why I lost. It was just a thing where I literally could not enforce pressure in a way that would allow me to get in. And that's the part that I am having a struggle with as far as Viper is concerned. Viper's normals are all very good, but she has a lot. You have to manage her drive gauge very, very tightly because of the way that like her high jump cancels and stuff work. And so it can be very demanding to play her in certain aspects. It can be very demanding to play her in certain aspects. Her damage is really high. And admittedly, like, I am leaving on the table stuff like faint cancels and a lot of other stuff just so I can get more reliable, oh. I didn't wait long enough for that. Nope. Good throw. Yeah, you don't have the cachet to be doing like downtown dragon lashes, buddy. You shouldn't be doing that. Not when you are burnout. That was not a good call. That was. So they responded correctly. The problem is that they didn't have enough. Oh, they hit the quit immediately. Damn, they didn't have enough health for the counter DI to go through, so they died immediately. Oh, hey, it's Manita again. see here. Yeah, I know I said we were maybe gonna. Initially, my plan was to maybe stop at 9:30, but the vibes are feeling all right, and I was feeling pretty good. So that's why we've gone a little longer than I was anticipating. But we're gonna get to 3 hours. It looks like. I do need to actually practice like my punishes. I got lucky there. I got very lucky there because if Marius had charged that Gladius, it would have broken my drive impact and I would have eaten 7 billion bags of shit. Again, like Marisa as a character, if you are very reliant on trying to like drive impact your way out of pressure, a good Marisa will make you suffer for that. You do not that you never do it, but it's one of those things where like, again, right? Like, you remember what I said before about feints with Seismo? The fact that I caught Marisa jumping, that's the kind of thing that I mean, right? She might be dead. I'm pretty sure she's dead. Yeah. So, like, that's the sort of thing that I mean, right? Like, if you understand where it is safe to throw Seismo normally, and then you start faking it, you bait people into jumping. But you have to do it in ways where, you know, they actually jump at distances where you can catch them trying to jump. Oh. Like that. But the key is that you have to understand where you are normally going to get away with a Seismo and do it roughly in those areas, right? And the feint will not always save you, right? Like there, if I'd been able to do it, it would have been ideal because I would have forced Marisa to waste a bit of bar trying to like you know, easy. I need to be very careful here. Ooh. Yeah. If she charged the Gladius, I would have been able to jump and punch it, but she didn't, unfortunately. I did not capitalize off of that jab check, which is unfortunate. Yeah, see, like there would have been a good time to fake it, to do that. And you'll notice that right there, I did 2 drive impacts, right? You saw how Marisa was charging up that Gladius, right? So if I'd done a 3rd drive impact, she would have busted me in the face for trying and I would have gotten knocked ass over tea kettle. So I can't say that I knew she was going to do it. I would be lying if I said I knew. But I did 2 and then I stopped and it's like, oh, she charged that. okay, I can't match super hard, but at least I did not drive impact. If I drive impacted, she would have punched my teeth out, and that would have been that. Done deal. Cooked. Oh, hey, I think I fought the Sagat earlier tonight. Again, if Sagat does a Tiger Knee and you see the screen shake when he hits you with it, even if you block it, that means that he is plus in that situation, and you should probably not press a button. No shake there, he wasn't as plus. Or he wasn't plus at all, or he wasn't as plus as he could have been. It depends on the spacing. Ooh. Yeah. And that's why Tiger Knee is really good. Because you saw what Sagat did there, right? Tiger Knee is not innate. It does not have a thing where it's like, oh, this cannot be. Let me phrase it like this. Sagat can use Tiger Knee to get over low attacks because it specifically just moves that high up, more so than anything else. So, like certain games where it would just be like, oh yeah, no, Tiger, like anything coded as a low will lose to Tiger Knee. Certain games are like that. Street Fighter 6 is not. It's just a thing where like literally Sagat, his hurt box is too high up for most lows to hit it. Oh. Charged, heavy, Tiger uppercut hurts a lot. I messed up and I dropped after the crouching heavy punch. I dropped the combo, which is annoying but unfortunate. That's my fault. I just did not press crouching medium punch quickly enough afterward, I think. Unfortunate that they went for the it wasn't the best punish that I could have done there, unfortunately. Ooh, good jump. I'm dead. This shit hurts. Not just in terms of animation, but also just in terms of damage. Sagat's whole thing, because I realized I fought a couple Sagats tonight, but I haven't really explained his thing the way that I normally would with other characters. Sagat's normals are all kind of slow, but they are very powerful and they reach very far. He does not have a lot of very extremely threatening low normals, but it does not mean that does not mean that his low normals are bad. They're just not threatening in the sense that he can get a lot off. They are still very potent checking tools, but he cannot necessarily immediately create a threat from his low normals the way certain characters can. It's plus as fuck. But as you see, right? I need to be careful about that. Ooh! That would have been a painful punish. Yeah, and unfortunately, like with the Tiger Knee especially, like heavy Tiger Knee, which is the one that he was using that had the 2 hits, if you block that, pouching, the thing that happened happens. Yeah, unfortunately, I did not. I was not in a situation where putting out Seismo would have stopped that from coming out, unfortunately.
As expected.
Okay, so that is good to know. Yep. Uppercut. Yeah, that's a good call. Yep. Tiger. Yep. Dead. I'm dead. Because I tried to walk up and throw. Great. Yeah, done. Yeah, I got it. And I know we have an ad. After the ads are over, I may do one or two more and then we'll call it. But I do have a thing I need to get ready for tomorrow. I have a thing I need to get ready for tomorrow and I've been putting it off because Okay.
Challenger.
I've been putting it off because it's just like.
Let us begin.
Let's rock.
Round one. Fight. Hadouken! Hadouken! Ha! Hadouken!
Yeah, unfortunate that I put that homo out there at that time. Yep. Yeah, like that's mostly how you deal with like Vipers doing burning kicks. If you're just shimmying a little bit, it's easier to like make sure that you're not in range of it, and that therefore you're less likely to get tagged. Yeah, that's fair. I deserve that. Sure you can. No can. Yeah. Alright. I gotta keep my ass on the ground a little bit. Don't know if I can. Yep. There we go. He was doing good, and then they started doing goofy shit for like half a second. Yeah, good. That's fair. That's fair. Yep. Nope. I need to be careful of that. Next time I jump, I'm gonna get hit with Shoryu. Also, if I'm not careful, I'm pretty sure that's gonna be what happens. The next time I jump, I will almost certainly hit my Shoryu. But yeah, like y'all saw there, right? Even without getting a chance to snipe Ryu out of the air after like the pump fake seismos, what that does, if you're able to like pull it off, is that then, right, the approach, you force them into a different approach. That's my fault. Good throw. Oops. And yep. I didn't want to do OD Seismo, but I pressed too many buttons, so it is my fault. Good throw. Yep. Unfortunately for that Ryu, the first one was not at the tippy tip of her crouch medium kick range, but it was close enough. It was close enough to her. Nope. Yeah, see the shimmy? Doing that to avoid, and that's another reason why sometimes you shimmy. I don't move enough sometimes, and I tend to like stay very still, and that can be a problem in and of itself. Ooh, OD sure. Very good. Smash. And the thing is that at that distance, right, Ryu blocked the Seismo and then walked in, right? And while Seismo is minus on block for Viper, which means that like if I throw the seismic hammer and somebody blocks it, Viper starts moving 5 frames later than the other person does. However, because Ryu was so far out and Ryu had to walk toward me, I essentially made those 5 frames back. And was just able to like... If I responded with the sweep a little faster, I would have punished it correctly. But unfortunately, I did not. Nope. Because I pushed Ryu out far enough to be able to do that. Thank you so much for the follow. For half a second, I was like, what is that noise? Because I wasn't looking. Follow alerts are anonymous on this channel. You can follow and lurk without getting your spot blown up if you don't want that. Skywalker Gaming TV says, take his lunch money. I will try, but admittedly, I have been fucking around and I found out. Welcome on in. Welcome to the Gage Gang. I hope that you enjoy your stay here so far. I will attempt to take the lunch money, but Part of that is contingent on me. Ooh, they tried to drop. They tried to parry. And got blown up for it. Ooh, wall crush, but they weren't able to capitalize. I also did not respond correctly. Sweet. Okay, well done. I am pretty sure that I've jumped enough that they might have a good fix on when I'm going to jump, and therefore I am vulnerable to shoryus, which means I need to be careful about this. There's a... Yeah. Alright. Yeah. Nope, that was not in time. If I had done a high jump cancel, I probably would have been able to avoid it. But I was a little bit of silly. Nope. No, I should be dead here. Yep. Up. Oh, wow. That is incredibly unfortunate. Man, if I lived a little bit longer, I could have forced that. Shit. It's okay. Literally, if I could have lived a little bit longer and then been out of burnout while they were still in burnout, I could have been... I could have been able to make that work.
Stay out of my business.
Hope you're ready. Round one. Fight.
I need to be careful. Because that guy was doing a lot of crouching, I was jumping at them. It's not good. Again, any situation in which Guile is crouching down, or could be potentially holding down or down back, or even down forward without you looking, it's a situation where he can be charging a flash kick. So you want to be very careful about, like that, right? Like, I don't know. She can hit the ground though, right? Make it fly. Yeah, like, the thing about Seismo in this matchup, you can use it. You're not wrong, Skywalker. The issue mostly is that with Seismo in particular, Seismo, if Guile is using like OD flash kick, then it doesn't matter if you use Seismo or not because he'll be invulnerable during OD flash kick. There's that part, right? There is the part also that, like, at the distance where it's like, I'm standing right in front of Guile's face and I'm going to do OD seismic hammer, or even just seismic hammer at all. OD flash kick will still, unless, I don't think, is what I'm going to say. I do not think that Viper has a way of timing it so that it's like, oh yeah, I can do OD seismic hammer, and, or even just seismic hammer and avoid getting hit by OD flash kick. I think I'm almost certain that I have fought this. Yeah, I fought this Ed earlier tonight. This is the Ed that was using the one safe jump that I kept falling for, and I got my shit pushed in. Yeah, this is familiar. No, that's my fault. I am drive impacting too much, so that's why they knew to just jump at the mid-screen. To jump over the drive impact and make me eat shit. Oops. And that's the thing, right? Yeah, it's the same Ed. Because I recognize that save jump. Ooh. Whew. Baited.
Hold still.
Yeah, unfortunately feints can't save you all the time. Yep, good one. Stand still. And the thing about that is that it's just, again, the thing about the safe jump part in particular is that if I'm not careful, the thing that Ed can do in that situation is I'm not dead, but the SA3 is here for me to take damage and to lose the drive advantage. Because they should be back to near full, if not full, after this is over, and then I am at the drive disadvantage. Fuck. No. If I was gonna try to do the tick though, I should have done it after, I should have done it after Drive Rush 5 MP. That was my fault for not doing that. Because I put it in a situation where I would have to walk me, and that's my fault. Power throw. Power throws are not as common in this game. They're not as easy to do. If Viper has one, I don't. If Viper has a power throw, I do not know. Admittedly, like, my Viper is very straightforward. So if Viper has a power throw, I do not know what it is, and I have not learned it. And it is not something I have yet invested the time into learning how to do. Nah, that's my fault. Shouldn't have done that. There we go. I wanted to jump over that. There's the safe jump again. And punish the jive attack. Nope. Oops. I tried to dash cancel that a little too early. The throw is a... I canceled it and knew I was... Yeah, good call. Yeah, I'm they got me, like, the second they got me that other one, and I'm like, I'm stuck blocking. I wasn't getting away from that. Alright, I'm gonna hold it there. Because if I keep playing, I'm gonna go well over the time that I should, for what I should be doing. Alright, y'all. So, I tried to look this up, but I don't know if it's legit. Instead, just outside of the range. Nah. I don't think so. I don't. That's why I was like, I can't say it for sure, but see, I'm just gonna go look at it myself. See Viper SF6. No. Nah, I don't know about that. And the only reason why I say that is mostly because I'm not going to sit here and say Street Fighter 6 has no Kara throws, because that's probably a lie. But off the top of my head, I know that it is a thing they have been pulling back from a lot in this game, right? Because like Sagat doesn't even have like he doesn't even have like Kara Tiger Uppercut in this game either. So it's something that I know in the back of my brain. I am like relatively certain that they've been pulling back on that a lot, which is the only reason why I was like, nah, I don't think that's legit. I could be wrong. Where did you get it from? If you didn't get it, even if you got it from like Super Combo Wiki or something, I don't know about that one. Because like with a Kara throw in particular, it could have been that I had the timing wrong, but when you have like jab and walk forward, grab as a tick throw. Tick throw. I use tick throws a lot. This is one of the things that is unfortunately a weakness in my game plan. People who pay attention get a general idea of where my tick throws are. That's not a Kara throw, it's a tick throw. And I do tick throw a lot, yes. IDK, I'm using... See? Okay. We have an object lesson here. I'm going to say this, and I'm saying this with all due respect. This is very important. I want you to listen to me very carefully. ChatGPT doesn't know shit about shit. I'm stoned. Fair. It is my hope that even Stone Skywalker stops using ChatGPT, because that shit doesn't know anything about anything. It does not look up new things from the internet when you ask it questions. It uses the stuff that it knew before and does not learn new shit till other shit happens. So, nah, we don't fuck with ChatGPT here. So, just as like a general thing so that you know, just so you understand, we don't fuck with ChatGPT here. Not at all. So, anything you hear from that shit is a pack of lies, and you should not believe it. And definitely anything it tells you, do not tell us that it told you, because nah. So I appreciate you trying to help, but also we don't fuck with ChatGPT here. That's just a thing here. But anyway, I need to get up out of here because I need to go get ready for the stuff I have to do tomorrow, whether I like it or not. So, links for following me. I do game analysis and design articles, or I did more often. I want to get back to that. But once I'm jobbed up and I can afford for like a Ghost subscription or something, I will probably go back to doing that somewhat more frequently. Stream VODs are up on my YouTube. Ko-Fi, I am doing a drive for raising rent for me for the winter. We are at 42% of our $4,000 goal. I have a job. that is going to be coming up in the spring, but I need monetary assistance in order to make sure that I can make it to my first paycheck without basically tightening my strings so tight that I have no belly. So if you cannot give, I understand. I know things are tight and times are tough. But you can pass the word on even if you can't give. I deeply appreciate that. You know? Don't, for now, my phone has stuff on there, but really, ideally, if you're really feeling compelled to, like, say, I have money to burn, I would much rather you put it toward the winter rent drive than, like, phone stuff. And my card has all my other social media links. Usually you find me yapping on Blue Sky a lot. Community is the game dev studio that I helped co-found. We are making a game called Shootlancer, which is a love letter to old school shmups like R-Type and Gradius. If you would like to know more about it, you can go check out our website. You can also support us on Patreon if you would like, and play the prototype over on our itch page. Two of those links also eventually lead over to our Discord if you would like to sort of be up and up on what we're doing in that sense. And then last but not least, if you like the community and you want to hang out more, we have our Discord here. We do old school manual verification. So when you join the Discord, keep in mind you're going to have to read the rules, pay attention specifically to the major question that it's asking, and then DM a mod for access with the correct key code in order to get it. There is a point at which I will probably redo that application so that it uses a more modern application system. But for the time being, we do it old school, just because, for me, for various reasons, I need to be very stringent about who comes in and who does what. So, the next time I stream is going to be this upcoming Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. The current plan, I need to dig up my capture card and figure out how to configure this in a way that makes sense. But the current plan is to stream Metroid Dread. That is the current plan. The current plan is to stream Metroid Dread. I need to figure out a way to do that in such a way that I can actually see what's going on. I am pretty sure that by using a monitor by using like a monitor output from OBS Studio, that I can actually see the screen there with a bit of delay, which is going to be the unfortunate part. Because I unfortunately do not have a triple monitor set up the way that I used to the last time I was using my capture card, which makes planning things more difficult in that regard, but I will figure that out probably at some point on Sunday. And if I don't, anyway, so thank y'all. I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all hanging out. Aside from Sunday stream, probably next Friday will be more Fighting Friday stuff. My general read on things is that unless my Street Fighter 6 hyperfixation gets broken, Fridays are probably going to still be Street Fighter 6 for a while until we get more information about Guilty Gear Strive 2.0. By which I mean whenever they give me the jam release date, because up until that point, I have no interest in going back to Strive. Not because of a bad game, just because, like, at this point, if Jam's going to be in the game, I just want to wait until Jam comes out. I'm just going to be real. Anyway, thank y'all for hanging out. I'm going to go drop y'all off with somebody on a raid. So give me a second to go find someone who's online that we can hang out with. And we're going to go raid over there. That's the plan. So I'm going to go see who up. you know, normally I would go throw you to somebody who's also doing fighting game stuff, but I feel obligated because I deeply appreciate Okadrian. He's just a chill dude, and I enjoy throwing people at him because it's fun. We're gonna go hang out with Okadrian. He's currently working on some stuff in his backlog. Currently, he is playing a game called Dredge. So he's just chilling, having him a good time. So we're gonna go hang out with Okadrian. This is the raid message. It is SH does raids. Throw in your favorite emotes. They don't have to be my emotes. Just keep them cool, keep them appropriate. If you know anything about Dredge, do me a solid. Do not spoil Adrian on any of it. As my uncle would say, watch the ride. Same. So when we go over there, don't spoil Adrian on anything if you know what Dredge is about. Just be chill and be cool. Till next time I see y'all, whenever that is, whether that's on the Discord or on Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, or Friday, maybe Wednesday if I can get home in time, but I think probably it's going to be a Friday stream, probably. After Sunday, probably next year will be Friday. Stay safe, wash your hands, wear masks. If you go outside, be excellent to each other. We're not the bigots, racists, terrorists, sexists, anti-queer folks, or fascists. Remember, Black Lives Matter, trans rights and reproductive rights are human rights. Palestine, Sudan, the Congo, New Caledonia, and Haiti must all be free. None of us are free till we're all free. Take care of each other, look out for each other. You don't have to do big things to do that. Just do what you can. Alright, y'all. That's all I got. Enjoy your time with Adrian. I'll see you on Sunday, or I'll see you on the Discord, or I'll see you on Friday. However it goes. Till then, deuces.